Welcome to today's Fuzz Summit.
By the end of this video, you're going to hear every one of these awesome fuzz pedals. It's a fuzzy old time. Welcome to That Pedal Show. Mick here.
Not Dan here. It's Marcus.
Markus Reeves is here from Reeves Electro. Izzy is with us as well. Hello, Izzy. And we're going to do this thing called a Fuzz Summit. Marcus has been talking about this for ages, going, look, I just want to bring a bunch of fuzz pedals down. You saw them in the intro. We're just going to whip through them all, get a little bit of knowledge from you about what they are, what we can expect.
Background and, you know, a few bits and pieces. Just a quick whiz through, but just thought we'd hang out with some fuzz.
Because we love the fuzz. We love the fuzz. All right. The way it's working is we'll put two pedals up at a time. I think there are 11 in total, assuming that they all work, because some of these things are pretty old. We'll put two up at a time. They're just wired into my board. One's on the front, one's in a loop. And then there's some reverb and delay to taste if we want it. But the focus is the fuzz pedals.
If there's any that don't work, we'll have to look for somebody who can fix them.
Oh, I wonder.
Yeah.
Do we know anyone?
Is he?
All right. So we got something old, something new here then. This Maestro is catching my eye.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's a 70-ish, about 1970 Gibson Maestro FZ-1B or 2B. I cannot remember the numbers from. It's a silicon 4 transistor silicon. It kind of came after the FC1, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
Maestro,
Maestro FZ-1A, for those of you, or FZ-1A, for those of you who don't know, was the Rolling Stones, Keith Richards, Satisfaction, and in a way it kind of kick-started the whole thing, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole raft of information about that, and the Glenn Snoddy thing that kind of was the germ of the fuzz pedal, really. And this is Gibson's kind of move towards silicon transistors, which are much more reliable from not just from a player point of view, but from a production point of view, easier to implement.
Because the germaniums were so
wildly different every time. You know, they'd come off the same production line, out the same die, out everything, and they'd be wildly different. Whereas silicon are much closer. So,
and for the same reason, that's why fuzz faces went from germanium to silicon.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is really important. We're talking about the end of the 60s when it was all happening, and of course Hendrix was in the middle of all of that. All right, let's have a listen to this one then. We think it works.
I'm pretty certain it does. Yeah. As a caveat, there was no attempt to make this sound like the original FZ1 from Gibson's point of view. It's a very different thing. It sounds similar to the Izzrite that we've just played, which is based on the...
We'll get into that in a second. Yeah. Do you want to play this one, Marcus?
Yes.
Well, we'll both have a play of each one, and we'll see how we get on.
It's got a really weird set of controls on it. Actually,
That is a hot mess.
Balance. Yeah.
There's
I'm
like...
more. Actually, if you play it, I'm more afraid with the controls. So,
Okay, when you turn the volume up to maximum, it
Yeah.
just cuts out completely.
Yeah, it will do. Yeah, it's kind of a one-trick pony, to be honest. It's got a balance knob, which, to be honest, you want it off and you just want all the fuzz.
Yeah. So by this point, they hadn't really worked out how to make them really loud, right?
No,
It's pretty quiet. There's not much...
More or less unity, yeah.
Not much lift in it, but that very fizzy, real mix, absolute
Cutting.
punching through the mix kind of deal.
And I mean, if you turn the balance all the way down and just crank it right up, it's painful. We can go there if you want. Just I believe. Try that, Mick.
Killer.
Yeah.
So now we're into sort of like a real gated,
And
more
the sustain
thing.
will sustain, and then it will just stop.
I dig it. That gated thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best sound we've had.
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of it, I think.
it's like I say, it's a one-trick pony, really. But it's I've rescued that because I bought that on Reverb about 3 or 4 years ago for peanuts because it just wasn't working, and it had never been working from factory.
Right.
Had a dried, unsoldered joint in one of the in the audio path.
Oh my god.
So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So one old, one new. Izzrite then. Izzy is here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's called the Izzrite.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's our kind of take on the Mosrite, Fuzzrite, the silicon version. We've kept fairly faithful to the circuit, but we've added another kind of, it's like a misbiasing knob. On the original, you'd have volume and depth, and we've added a height, which is the bias. So it takes it from the original stock all the way to just massively over biasing the second transistor, so it just gets to completely overcooked, which is the way fuzz should be, really.
Is it the Mosrite one? Is it associated with anybody famous?
People say the Stooges, "I Want to Be Your Dog," was recorded. Nobody really knows,
right.
but that's kind of, it's that riff at the beginning. If it isn't a Fuzzrite, then it's very much what a Fuzzrite sounds like.
That's what you can expect the sound.
Yeah.
Come on then, have a go on this one then.
Yeah.
It's got a fair bit of octa in there. Second harmonics.
Yeah, yeah. And the kind of the depth. The depth, it basically it has two transistors and they're working rather than pushing each other. They're running in parallel instead, and one's cleanish and one's dirty.
Oh, well, okay.
And you've got the blend. You balance the two basically, and so if you have the depth fully round,
yeah,
that's all the dirty transistor. If you have the depth this way round, gives a quick, quick strum actually, mate.
Dig it.
Yeah. That one can get noisy, as you heard. It gets noisy at its most extreme.
Yeah,
It's got old vintage transistors in it, so they do tend to be... They don't like being pushed out of their bias range, whereas modern transistors are a little bit more tolerant of that.
Nobody should be surprised if you've got a fuzz pedal turned on and cranked, you're going to get some noise, especially when the amps are loud, as
Absolutely,
they are.
Yeah.
Being the boring sod that I am, I will... for all of them, just turn the guitar down a bit, because I'm always interested to know.
How
and it's not necessarily about, like, does it clean up beautifully? It's about what does it do when you turn the volume down, because there's some really cool mid-gainy on the edge sounds, even if it doesn't clean up, and I thought it was doing that really nicely.
Yeah. It's circuits like this, kind of, you need a different view. If you've been used to like traditional fuzzes like muffs and fuzz faces, things like that, these more esoteric 60s circuits need a different kind of attitude to when you're playing them, because otherwise you'll be like, oh, it doesn't sound like my fuzz face, well, it's not going to, and it's not going to behave the same.
Yeah. It is the bit, I mean, goodness, we get it a lot on that pedal show where people are like, yeah, you know what, I've got overdrives and distortions and I try fuzz, I just don't get it. It's so contextual, isn't it?
Yeah,
always.
Absolutely.
And you got to commit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they're great studio tools as well, even if you don't like playing them on a daily basis. If you're recording something and you're like, it needs that little something, some of the most gnarly, most unlistenable fuzz tones are sat nicely in a mix, and if you isolate them, you'd be like, "Ooh, I'm not sure about that." But in the right mix, absolutely what the doctor ordered.
Killer. Let's swap them out then.
Back in the room.
Thank you.
Yeah. I've watched it too many times.
Oh, by the way, the reason that Dan isn't here is because he's not here. He's off doing something. So me and Marcus thought we'd just do this together.
I'll just come and be a Dan lookalike.
We love you, Dan. Sorry you're not here. As you'll see, I've got the world's stupidest guitar that I bought just recently, and I'm desperate to give it a go. This is literally the first time it's appeared on that pedal show.
Mick's being Lenny Kravitz for the day.
For those of you who have these, you'll know that playing it on your lap is something of a struggle. It does have this little sticky pad there.
That's a revolution, isn't it?
I mean, it sort of.
It's either that or you do the whole classical guitar thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Or worse, Dave Davis and the Kinks.
Yeah.
Don't do that, kids.
Yeah.
So strap it is, I'm afraid. Right, Blue Colander.
Blue Colander, yes. Made in Poland. absolutely fantastic. It's a Black Russian big muff, kind of heavily modded, and I'm not a huge big muff fan, but this thing does things that I've not heard big muffs do, and the insides are immaculate. If you get a chance to get on his Instagram, have a scroll through, have a look at the gut shots of this. Everything's color coded, and it's just, yeah. Anyway, enough about that. It sounds huge.
Sounds awesome. Do you want to bring us in then?
Yes.
Is it? Well, we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out.
Yeah. You swang on that, and I'll set that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
So I genuinely haven't played this guitar at all, except to check that it worked. See if it can play anything other than Scorpion songs.
Yes, there is that. Very flexible piece of kit and loud AF. Yeah.
Flying V learns number 1.
Yeah.
The volume controls are weird.
Oh.
Well, I suppose they'd be logical. Like this one's for the bridge pickup and that one's for the neck pickup. Logically, for me, that should be the bridge pickup.
Anyway, it depends on your logic output, doesn't it? Really, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know.
You've got to stand
confusing.
up.
You've got to stand up. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, your stance has to be at least 3 foot apart as well.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Sort of Hetfield-esque, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, I see. You could put one horn between the...
Yeah, that's the classical
would work.
thing. Yeah. Like I say, the classical guitar thing. So, yeah.
Here we go. Learn and burn.
Tangent.
Do you want to play have a word?
Let's move on to the other one. We've got a lot to get through. And let's be honest, my riffs are average at best. Anyway, moving on.
You know what this reminds me of?
Go on.
The knight in Quest for the Holy Grail.
That says...
No, the one that gets his arms and legs cut off and says, "'Tis but a scratch."
Just a scratch. About worse.
It looks like his helmet,
Yes,
doesn't
it does. This is electronic audio experiments.
Okay, yeah.
And it was a collaboration with them and the guys that actually designed and made the enclosure.
Right.
But they now do a pedal board version called the Glane. It's called the Glitch or Glaive. With an added knob as well. So currently my favourite fuzz, to be fair.
Wow.
It is off the charts.
I dig the sliders.
Yeah, you can use it as a boost, but who'd use a fuzz as a boost?
Well, let's see.
Right, so, and it is, it's insanely loud. So...
oh dear.
Okay.
killer. So it's got
really,
the octa.
it's really versatile fuzz. Yeah, it's got a bass. I want to say it's a pre-gain stage bass emphasis in as well. The bottom one called Weight. Yeah, it's their own circuit as well.
And obviously completely unobtainium. Can you buy them?
These ones, this version, no, but the glaive you can get
Yeah.
all day, every day, I think.
The glaive sounds like a medieval glove, doesn't it?
It is, it's got a sword on it.
Has it?
Yeah.
So it is the knight, isn't it? That's who it is.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Dude, that is killer. Bless Marcus coming on here and promoting other people's fuzz pedals.
Yeah, but we're all on the same wave, aren't we? That's the thing.
Yeah.
We just, if you love fuzz, you love fuzz. You know.
If you're struggling with this guitar, so am I. I dig it.
Yeah. There we go.
All right. Do you want to play that one?
No, we'll go on. Let's just crack straight on
Okay.
to some others. Back in the room.
Sight for Sore Eyes.
Sight for Sore Eyes.
That Roger Mayer enclosure.
Yeah.
Absolutely classic.
It's iconic, isn't it?
And which one is this?
This is the Axis Fuzz, so synonymous with late period Jimmy, where Roger Mayer was the chap that kind of tweaked fuzzes for Jimi Hendrix initially, the father of the Octavia.
Worked a lot with Jimmy.
Yeah, worked a lot with Jimmy.
Funny,
yeah.
I went to Olympic Studios the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's now a restaurant and a cinema. That's all right. It's all right. They've kept a lot of the memorabilia.
Oh,
and
okay,
stuff.
that's cool. Yeah, because it's not long since it's gone out of being studio, is it? But anyway,
Don't know.
yeah. So it's very, very loosely based on the fuzz face with the really, sort of fuzz face. It has the same characteristics. The one difference between this and the fuzz face is a fuzz face, when you turn the fuzz down, gets dark. And this doesn't.
Is it silicon?
Yeah, it's a silicon. Yeah, 3 silicon.
One thing I've really noticed on silicon fuzz faces anyway is they get super bright when you really turn
Crank
the volume
it.
up
Yeah,
high.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's an output impedance thing, is it, do you think?
Yeah, well, it's also to do with the there's a filter created with the output cap and the very high value volume pot, and obviously when you crank that, it changes the filter.
Yeah.
And it's a combination of the impedance as well. So.
Marcus has chosen an entirely appropriate guitar for a fuzz.
Yes. Yeah. Feedback central.
Let's see what happens. I've never actually been in the same room as one of these, so
okay.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's on. We're about to find out.
Yeah.
It's
So
not.
this side is fuzz. This side is volume.
I've turned them both up to max and back a bit.
that was just about where it was working. Yeah. Go on.
So, sorry, for the... turned it right up and then turned it all the way up to 10, 10, 10, and then turned it down. And Spitty was something very unique about that.
Yeah, it's a very for such a simple circuit, it's got quite a lot of nuance to it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That is absolutely killer.
I found out that I think they work just backed off just a little bit.
Yeah.
It gives you that kind of some clarity between the notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 100% that.
Yeah.
Up to 10, down to sort of 9, 8.
Yeah.
And that's where it's happening. And I've deliberately chosen an E flat Strat and put on some room reverb.
But the cleanup is
that
insane on them as well.
Yeah, it's not like Crystal super
it gives
clean.
you
It's
range.
just lovely.
I mean, you can go down to 1.
Yeah.
And still, there's a full range on the volume pot. So
that's killer.
Yeah,
absolutely,
and it stacks quite well as well.
Yeah, good reputation for good reason.
Need a breathing amp for them though. You put them into a clean amp and they sound very sterile.
We're sort of on the edge here. Both these amps
yeah.
are just on the edge and kind of working.
Yeah.
A small continuity break because the sheer fuzz killed one of the cameras. All right. I've never seen this before either.
Yeah.
From Nick Greer.
Nick. Hey Nick, how you doing, mate? It's the Soul Thrust from Greer amps. It's from his custom shop. It's not a massive custom shop, but this is one of the things he hand builds himself. It's all kind of tagboard and inside and all that, like vintage components and stuff.
Yeah.
And bless him, Nick. When I first started speaking to Nick 4 or 5 years ago, we did a pedal trade like a lot of pedal builders do. And he said, "What do you fancy?" And I was really cheeky. I said, "Oh, how about a Soul Thrust?" And he was like, "Oh, I'll see if I've got any enclosures." He had some. He built one up for me. And it's just, you'll love it. It's a thick, greasy, mid-forward, fat kind of fuzz face. Full fuzz with a frequency control on the output.
Nice. Okay.
Fantastic.
Do you want to give it a swang then?
Yeah. It's it. I mean, it's not got massive amounts of clean up, but that was never really, I think, the design behind it. It's just, I just really like it. It works really well.
What I find amazing to this point, right, I don't know how many we've been through. We do have to hurry up a bit because we've got VCQ to do in a minute. But for those of you who don't like fuzz, first off, you'll have turned off by now because it's like, oh my God, it all bloody sounds the same. It's just a fuzzy, horrible mess. But when you're sat here playing, the nuances and the differences are really massive.
Yeah, absolutely. And we spoke about this earlier on. There's a thing Rhett Shaw said on one of his videos.
Hello, Rhett.
How you doing, mate? A little while ago, a year or so ago, he said, it's not necessarily a listener thing, it's a player thing.
Yeah.
And obviously you're sitting there listening to this and maybe you can't necessarily discern one from another, but it feels very different sitting here and playing it, and the responsiveness.
And just that one, notch on the volume control makes all the difference about where the frequencies jump out. Like if there's extra harmonics or octa or anything like that, or any other harmonics for that matter. Yeah. Actually, the difference between 3 and 5 on the volume control is massive, and then it's down to you to go, okay, I hear what this is doing now.
Yeah. What do I want to do with it?
What do you want to say, Mr. Fuzz Pedal? All right, let's. I can see 2 massive wedges of cheese on the floor.
Absolutely.
Shall we go for those?
Absolute cheese time. Right.
Something old, something new again.
Something old, something new. Yeah. So these pedals are 2 pedals that are quite close to my heart. Actually, the Zo has been for me, it's been quite a runaway success, and I'm very proud of It's based on a Mark II silicon Zonk. That I've kind of given a bit of a tweak to, and this is me taking it to its furthest extension, if you like. Very high gain.
Where do you sit on octa in Zonks? Because some of them have it, some of them less so.
In the Mark II, so the silicon Zonk is a slightly different circuit to the germanium one. Yeah, there should be a little low octave. If you fiddle with your volume control, you should find that there's a bit of kind of sub harmonic creeping in. You have to listen to it, but it does definitely add to the tone. It's something that the Zonk does. It's not really out there.
No. It's not. Don't be expecting an octafuzz. It's definitely a harmonic thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rather than an overt effect, right?
And I think some of these era of fuzzes, there's a wide scope of tones that came out of these fuzzes because the law that Jimi Hendrix would try 10 fuzz faces out to find a decent one is quite true.
Yeah, because the component variability from pedal to pedal was massive, right?
So there's not necessarily a definitive tone for these pedals. There's a kind of scope, So some guys make them one way, some guys prefer another way, really. So
Let's start there then. What does the switch do?
So that is it's a low cut on the output.
Okay.
And then the center is the texture. Which is goes from kind of spitty to broad and open, and swell is volume, and the drift is kind of like a fuzz, but it just plays with one of the. It's probably best started full on. To be honest, yeah, and then we go backwards from there. So
right. The tuner's on.
That'll be why.
So turn the texture down. Is it a bias control?
Yeah, in a very odd place in the circuit, it is a bias control.
Yeah, to get it really spitty right at the end.
Yeah.
Killer. All right. Different guitar again.
It's the thing.
Sorry, mate, I'm having all the fun here.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. They're played far better by you than they are by me, mate. I make no bones about that.
One of the things I love about that, the zonky style thing, is the reason I asked the question about the octa earlier is because as you turn the guitar down, those frequencies really start to jump out.
Yeah.
And I associate that with that thing I love so much about Doyle Bramall with the reverb on, and it just starts spitting and it becomes really vocal, and you can say, well, despite the anyway, if you've got the courage to not play too many notes, you can really say a lot.
Absolutely,
and let the reverb trails do its thing. That is killer, mate. Is that the same as the regular Zo?
The only difference between that and the Zo has mutated a lot, very slowly and very gently. The first one you had, I think you played in the Monk demo, was the lowest gain, and that's now the highest gain version of it. I ran out of those transistors. I've now got two sets of these transistors. This is the higher gain. The standard one is done with a lower gain, so I've got more of them.
It's killer. It's absolutely killer, mate.
I'm really happy with how they play.
Dig it. And
they're normally, that was a special. I only made 20 of these in these big boxes. They normally come in the pedalboard friendly size. So
I think pedalboard unfriendly.
Yeah.
All right then. And the Gen Fuzz?
Gen Fuzz, I picked that up not working on a whim and fell in love with it, and there is a pedal, anybody that follows me knows that there's a pedal called the Super J that I made in the same enclosure a couple of years ago now. I've been planning to remake it, but just finding the time, it's a bit of a pain to make. If you go to fuzzdog.co.uk, you can actually buy a kit version of the Super J.
Oh, wicked.
But I'm planning this year to have the Super J made, which is this and click of a switch, a Marshall Super Fuzz, which is very similar circuit.
It is interesting, isn't it? Because when we kicked off the show with the Maestro, the later version of the FZ-1. The FZ-1A, when that came out, 65, whatever it was, that's what spawned all of this, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And they're mostly based on cascading gain stages in one way or another. Some of them are, like the Fuzz-Rite was a slightly different, but yeah, this one is very close to a Mark II tone bender.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Well, this one in particular isn't, because it has some clipping diodes as well.
Oh, no way.
But you can the secret sauce in the no bones about this in the Super J is that you take those clipping diodes out, and it turns into a Marshall Super Fuzz.
Yeah. Okay.
So
let's have a listen then.
Yeah, less gabbing, more riffing.
No. Gabbing is good. Welcome to that pedal show.
Yeah. And so attacking level. It's not as bright as it was when I got it.
Really?
Okay. The original, I just put a little cap on the input to ground, because the original is just unbearably unplayable.
But context is so important there, because if you go back to that period in time when the amps were cranked,
dark amps.
Once it starts hitting the front of a really heavily overdriving amp, that's when it's not unlike a treble booster.
I was going to say there are some fuzzes that work better as like a fuzzy treble boost, and that would be one. So you'd need an amp that's probably driving more than these, and it's got quite a lot of volume. You just push it into that, and what it does is it flattens off that spike in the frequency.
Yeah.
And or rather than you have the volume spike, you just have the saturation is spiked instead in that particular frequency, which is what a treble booster does.
Talking about frequency spikes, it definitely has that vocal upper mid-range, doesn't it? You know, kind of Mick Ronson-y in a way, that sort of thing.
Maybe a gold Les Paul might work better.
I think this will be all right.
So made in Italy in the Gen factory. They're going up in price, like all these flipping things.
I know, but
it's old junk.
Can you ever find one that hasn't been viciously modified?
No, no, that is off half the thing. I mean, that was broken. That's why I picked it up Are they worth it? The vintage thing, I feel that you can't, for some reason, there's something about those components that you can get 90% to, but there's just something in there. Again, it's a player thing, not a listener thing. That you just.
And the next one might be completely different from that one.
Yeah.
That's. Yeah. What's doing the mid hump? Is that an input cap?
Well, that's probably more to do because this has diodes in it.
Right.
It's probably more to do with the diodes not clipping as hard. So what is happening is that frequency, rather than being turned to saturation, is actually being turned to, changing the spectral kind of this frequency spectrum coming out, and it just is more pronounced.
Yeah.
So you're not clipping the diodes as hard.
Last few then. We did lie in the beginning, said every one of these fuzz pedals you'll hear by the end of the video. There's one you're not going to hear because we've run out of time. So honorary mention to the Black Hat Sound Professional in the
Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I'm sure maybe we'll hear it another time, but it's.
Just want to touch it.
Oh, it's lovely. It's very tactile, isn't it? Yeah.
So what we got then? Two more from you, Marcus.
Yeah. So we've got the Black Hat Sound Alpha, which is the Black Hat Sound is a series of pedals that I've made based on a core circuit, and I've just added, like the Black Hat Sound Professional has a bias and a mids and a tone control out of a big muff on it. There's a couple of others, but this BHSA is the core. There's no frills on it. It's literally just a one knob fuzz with that core fuzz circuit in it.
I just love the.
It's huge. Yeah, because a bigger box makes it sound better. We all know that.
Of course it does.
Play that one, then we'll talk about the other one in a minute. Lots of tones out of that one.
Chef's kiss, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, we
dropped a plectrum.
We do have massive RF in this room. Look.
Hey. You need to turn all the gear around facing that way now, don't you?
I know. But we live with it because it's
Shangri-La.
And it's part of the sound.
Yeah.
If you start filtering all that stuff out, you lose.
That's absolutely. When you put the foil on the back of your let's not go there. Anyway,
Twin Sound.
The Twin Sound is.
Sorry for hurrying up, but we've got VCQ to get to. So.
It's an octave, transformerless octave fuzz. So it's just done with a NPN transistor and a PNP transistor, causing frequency cancellation, and it just doubles other frequencies and causes an octave.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's a very clever little circuit. Again, I've kind of dicked with it a bit and added a thing that kind of takes it into another place with the attack. So
I always start at 2 o'clock, as you know. Is that
yeah, it's
okay?
the perfect place.
Is it okay?
It is. Yeah, all my pedals work best at 2 o'clock because Mick told me to. There we go, Octave Madness.
Tons of level.
Yeah.
Like really killer.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the way it opens and just delivers like a smack in the face.
Yeah.
That is belting.
Yeah, it's weirdly we don't sell many.
No,
But it's always in in the back of my mind to keep knocking them out. So they'll always be available.
it's a weird thing, Octafuzz. A lot of people just don't get it, not interested, don't understand it, don't want it. But once the bug hits you, and you don't always have to use it as overtly as that. Like you can use it much more subtly.
Well, with the attack on this, you can almost take all the octave out, and it's just a fuzz.
Yeah.
So
and it just adds a real extra, like even in a ballad or something, you can really just open it out.
Yeah.
I turned on some chorus there at the end. I don't know why. Mate, killer, Fuzz Summit.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
Thank you for
yeah.
bringing
Enjoyed
stuff
it.
in
Yeah.
I've never played before. Dan's going to be sorry he missed this. We hope it sort of inspires you a little bit to check out some different fuzzes because they are all different. They all do a different thing and they will bring out different things in your playing. If you want to spend the time getting into it.
And my tip is, if you're not sure, buy used on Reverb or eBay or any of the other sites you can get, because chances are you're going to be able to resell it if you don't like it for, something close to what you paid for it.
Yeah.
And then when you find something you like, you can kind of run down that rabbit hole and start buying from, other builders who maybe kind of do something that you enjoy even more.
Happy days. Yep. Okay. Do all the things. Please go to that Pedal Show store and buy merch. It's how we stay on the air. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. To our preferred retailers in the UK and Europe, Andertons of Guildford, and in Australia would be Pedal Empire of Brisbane. And in addition, if you click the description down, there'll be various links in there. If you click on those and buy stuff, that helps us out as well. We appreciate it. Marcus, thank you so much. Izzy, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us down. And Mick, thank you very much for everything you do for the pedal community. It's very, very much appreciated by not just me, but lots and lots of other builders.
Bless you, mate. I will accept that on behalf of Daniel as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Okay. We'll see you on Monday for VCQ. If you've got any questions about this, we're about to do a VCQ with Marcus and Izzy. So if you want to watch that after this, please do. See you soon.
See ya.